Hello guys, it is week 2 of e-learning. I just wanted to go over our assignments for the week. I did recently get some submissions for last week's assignments, so if you still have not turned those in, please go ahead and do so. There were 3 assignments for last week. There are going to be 2 submitted assignments for this week. The other pieces you are just reading. So let's take a look right here. It says here are week 2 assignments. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 8th, I am going to put up the little submission buttons for you to click so you can make sure you have that info already. So if we take a look here, here is our PDF. So I'm just going to click that. So when it opens up, we should be able to see what we have for this week. So this week we are going to start reading Into the Wild. I'm going to be posting today the audio to it if you would like, and the PDF is already up. And that is the book that we talked about before about Chris McCandless, who went on this crazy 2-year journey and ends up dead in Alaska. We don't really know why. Just a reminder, each week we are going to have a lesson. We're going to have a bit of a portfolio piece, which is just something you guys make that is going to go into a project folder at the end. And then you are going to have little journal entries throughout the week. Make sure each of these should be like a couple of sentences usually. I had some people just submit like 1 sentence for their portfolio last week. It needs to be more than that. So for this lesson, for this week, you are not going to have to do anything specific. You're just going to be listening to it / reading it. So it is the PowerPoint introduction to Into the Wild, which I'm going to show you in just a sec. Mrs. Luce, she is our AP Language and also another English 3 teacher. She recorded narration for the entire presentation. So wherever you see a little speaker on the slide, you can click that and you can hear her talking about what's on the slide, reading things, and getting more information. So again, you don't have any questions for the PowerPoint, but you are going to need to know that info. So very first thing, I would listen to / read the PowerPoint introduction of Into the Wild. For our portfolio piece this week, the title of it is Expectations versus Reality. So this says you, as students, are at a time in your lives when everyone asks you about your future. Where are you going to college? What are you going to do when you graduate? What are your plans after high school? And on and on and on. It's clear that in our society there are certain expectations that are deemed acceptable, and there are behaviors, decisions, and personal choices that are deemed not acceptable. Just like Chris, you might be dealing with pressure from other people to do the right thing, rather than do what actually makes you happy and leaves you feeling fulfilled. So for this week's portfolio piece, it would be good to go ahead and read chapters 1 through 3 of Into the Wild. Go ahead and take a look at that PowerPoint introduction before you do it. You don't have to use anything from it, but it can give you some inspiration. So here are the directions for the portfolio piece. You're going to be making a Venn diagram, so you know our 2 overlapping circles, differences, and how they're similar, in which you're comparing your identity and your future goals with society's expectations of who you should be and what you should do. So here's some things to think about. What about your life / personality is ideal according to society? So for example, when I was in high school, I was a 4.0 almost student, or I would get the occasional B, but otherwise I got really good grades, and that was considered to be a good thing. But I didn't really care about grades, so that wasn't something that personally made me happy. It was just something that was expected of me. What about your life personality are different from what other people expect from you? So maybe people expect you to be really good at something, or to like something, or to not like something, and you're actually the complete opposite of that. So that can be another example. It says, be sure to identify areas of your life where you are fitting the mold, so you're fitting in, you're conforming, as well as aspects about you that maybe are not meeting expectations. So you should have at least 6 items. So that could be 3 on one side, 3 on the other, at least 6 total items in your Venn diagram. Underneath your diagram, or if you need to type it up instead, you're going to write a reflection paragraph explaining how societal expectations impact your life. So did you have to change what you wanted to do? When you went from middle school to high school, did you adjust your life, or did you do things or not do things because of those expectations from other people? Consider who or what influences you to make your decisions and be the person you are today. Do you do things because your parents tell you to? Do you have to do things because your brothers or sisters did other things in the past and now you're being held to their standard? So we're going to be submitting the Venn diagram and paragraph to this submission title, Expectations versus Reality, on Edsby. Now, if you want to draw out your Venn diagram on paper, you can just snap a picture of it and upload that. You can write your paragraph right underneath it, or you can type up your paragraph. If you want to make some sort of typed version of your diagram instead of doing the circles, you can do that too, just as long as I can tell which is the society side and which is the you side. So that is our second assignment. Our last assignment for this week is our journal entry. So this week's journal is called Influences Part 1. So your journal entry should be at least a paragraph or more. Just like our other assignments, you can just take a picture of it as long as it's written in pen so I can see it, or you can type it in directly, but make sure this is about a paragraph. So here's our prompt. It says in chapters 1 through 3 of Into the Wild, the reader sees how Chris McCandless, sorry, not Christ McCandless, that is a typo, how Chris McCandless deeply influences relative strangers while on a path of independence and solitude from society. So he wants to be independent and do things for himself, and he wants to be in solitude, which means to be alone, but he actually ends up making really good friends and having really strong connections with people. The people he meets remember his personality and philosophy vividly, and his eventual death changes their lives. So in chapter 1, you're going to meet Jim Gallion. He is an electrician who only briefly gives Chris a ride to the Stampede Trail in Alaska, and he ends up as the last person to see him alive, and the last chance for Chris to turn back from his adventure. Even in death, so this is in chapter 2, Chris impacts the many separate travelers who discover his written plea for help and his decaying body in the bus. Wayne Westerberg, who you're going to read about in chapter 3, Chris's boss from a temporary grain mill job, becomes almost like an extended father figure in his concerns for the young man. Well, maybe more like an irresponsible uncle figure. He is going to get arrested at some point. It'll make a lot of sense once you meet Wayne Westerberg. So here's what you need to write about. In your entry, write about a person who has left an impression on you or influenced you in some way. This person can be alive or dead, family or a stranger, famous or infamous, or even fictional. Explain your contact with this person and the impact they made on your life. Remember, not all influences are necessarily all positive or all negative. How is your life different now after meeting/discovering this person? So let me give you an example. When I was a junior in high school, we had to write a very large paper. It was about 10 to 15 pages long, and it needed to be about someone in literature. I chose Kurt Vonnegut because I thought he had written a book, which actually he didn't. I mistook him for another author. But I ended up doing a whole bunch of research on this author, Kurt Vonnegut, and reading about his different novels, how he influenced sci-fi, and he was just such a really cool dude. He had a really nice philosophy on life about being kind to others and just chilling out and taking life as a learning experience. And he's been a really positive influence on my life. He died a while ago. He's certainly a stranger to me. He's never met me and I've never met him. He's considered kind of a famous author, but he has left a big impression on me. I love his books. He's influenced my writing style, and he's influenced how I think about life. So he might be someone I would write this journal entry about. And remember, once you write your journal entry, even though you're holding on to them, make sure you're uploading them to Influences Part 1. If you're typing this in the notes section of your phone, you can just take a screenshot and upload that as a file. You can type it in the little text box that will be under the submission button, or you can upload a file if it's from a Word document or a picture. So again, those are our 3 assignments for this week. For e-learning week 2, we have the lesson, which is the PowerPoint introduction. That's the other file in here. We have the portfolio piece, in which you're making a Venn diagram. What are society's expectations for teenagers like you? And then what is your reality? What do you actually care about and like, and how you don't fit in? And then the last piece is a journal entry where you're talking about people who have influenced you. They've left some sort of impression, good or bad. As always, let me know if I can help you out. On Wednesday, I am also going to have office hours from 1 to 2 p.m., and you can pop in there to let me know if you need anything. Have a good week.